This week brings emotional breakthroughs, realignment, and reality checks. Happy freaking holiday, folks. Welcome back, cuties, to the Hella Fluid Collective podcast. I'm your host, Sarah, and I love all things astrology and helping creators and entrepreneurs find their creative flow. Today, we're going to be talking about the astrology for the week of December 23rd through December 29th. As always, all of the transits and their dates are listed down below, so don't worry about taking any notes, just soak in the energy of what I'm saying. If you want daily reminders of the astrology that's happening for each day, then make sure you come over to my Instagram where I post those to my story. If you want to plan further ahead than just a week, then make sure you sign up for my newsletter where you can get a free month ahead horoscope. Last up, it's a perfect time to get a year ahead astrology reading. This is a predictive astrology reading where we look at what the planets above are doing for you next year and how they connect with your personal birth chart. So it's going to be a really customized report of what energies are available for you to tap into next year. And let me just tell you, it's kind of a wild year for the collective, so it might be really nice to have some insight as to what's going on for you. And right now, if you book by December 31st, then you can get 15% off. I'll be sure to put that discount code in the show notes below. All right, let's get into it. The first day that we have an exact transit is Monday, December 23rd, and that's Venus sextile to Chiron. This is a harmonious transit that is going to bring empathy and compassion into our relationships, our finances, and our value systems. It's also going to bring empathy into the art or anything that we're creating. It's a nice time to maybe have a conversation with somebody else that might be a little bit harder to have, or maybe we need to go over some wounds, address some ways that we were hurt or that you may have hurt somebody else, because this is an energy where we're going to feel more compassionate towards other people, more understanding for other people's point of view. And people will be understanding of our point of view, so it's a really good time to say you're sorry. If you're also somebody who creates art or things out of your emotions, this is a really good time to tap into your vulnerabilities and create from that space. And with that, as for business owners, it's a good energy to get vulnerable with your audience. Share a story about a time when things were just rough for you and what you did to make it through. It could be really inspiring for them and grow a deeper connection between them and you and your business. Next up is Tuesday, December 24th, Christmas Eve for those that celebrate that holiday, and it is Jupiter square Saturn. Okay, this isn't the jolliest transit that we could be having on a holiday, but it's not the first time we felt this energy, so it's not totally brand new. We had Jupiter squaring Saturn in August of this year. It kind of serves as a bit of a reality check. Jupiter is all about thinking big and looking at the big picture and dreaming and being really optimistic and yeah, let's go for it. And Saturn is quite the opposite. Saturn is what we're dealing with right here, right now. What are our limitations? What are our restrictions? And so Saturn can kind of come in and damper the mood a little bit, but at the same time, it's really necessary, because if we are overexerting ourselves or having expectations that really just are outside of our means right now, then Saturn is going to come here and remind us what we have to work with. So yeah, it may feel a little icky. It may come from a frustration or some feeling limited in some way. But instead of wallowing in the self-pity or the not feeling good enough energy, I invite you to instead acknowledge what your boundaries or limitations are at this moment and use them as something that can actually empower you to move forward. Let's say that you just don't have as many clients as you would like, then instead of being really upset about that, focus this time on rehashing out a project or some content or a new course or something like that. Use it as a way that you can still benefit from whatever the situation is. And also creating a plan from where you are right here, right now. So it's kind of good timing as we're going into the new year, really getting real with yourself. And this time around, Jupiter is retrograde. So that's going to flavor this second connection with a moment of turning inward and asking yourself, are my expectations for myself and my business realistic? So it's going to be looking at yourself and what expectations you're putting on yourself. We do have these two planets making this connection again in June of 2025. So this is part of a longer cycle. And when it happens in June, I believe Saturn will be retrograde. So that energy will be about what are the limitations we're putting on ourselves that are stopping us from achieving these bigger goals. It'll be a nice little dance to review all the parts in this conversation. As for business owners, I would use this time to really reassess what were some of your limitations over the year and how can you use those to help you grow into the new year. Figure out a plan that works with these so that you can really thrive with what you have right here, right now. Next up is Thursday, December 26th, and that's Mercury opposite to Jupiter. If this sounds familiar, that's because it is. It's the third time it's happened in the past few weeks because Mercury did its retrograde and now it's done doing its retrograde. So it's moving back over the path it's already gone on. That's why people refer to it as the shadow period. It's retracing its steps. So this is the last time it's going to make this connection for a while. And this is an energy that can have us thinking and communicating really optimistically. So it's not too bad of an opposition. Jupiter ones generally aren't too nasty. It's kind of nice. The downside of this energy is that it can lead to a lot of gossiping, and it can also lead to misinformation, especially through over exaggerating. It is a fun energy for exploring new perspectives. So stay open-minded and have a little fun with the different perspectives you're playing. As for business owners, be very mindful that you're not overextending yourself because we can easily be like, yeah, I can do that, let's go. And then you realize you actually don't have the mental capacity to take all of that on. I know how this goes, okay? This is also an energy for like over communicating. So maybe just double check if that email needs to really be that long, or if you can just review it, save it in the drafts and send it the next day because maybe you're just doing too much. This is coming from somebody who has this aspect in her birth chart. So yeah, your girl can talk. My emails are detailed. There's a lot going on. I get it. I have sympathy. On that same day, Thursday, December 26th, we have kind of the opposite energy happening as well, and that's Mercury square to Saturn. Again, this is the third and final touchdown because of that retrograde. And this is an energy that is really gonna kind of limit our mental capacities. So they may balance each other out. You may feel more of one, you may feel only one, but just know both of these energies are at play where we're feeling really optimistic, and at the same time, we might be feeling a little down on ourselves because Saturn can be a little heavy. It's here to look at the reality, and so we could be spiraling in these feels and thoughts more so of, this is why I'm not good enough, which I think is really easy for a lot of us to get into. So be really mindful of that and do what you can to really channel Jupiter and fall into that, okay, but what can I do? Maybe I don't have this right now, but it doesn't mean I'm not good enough. It just means I don't have this right now. That's it. So what can I think about achieving with where I'm at? It's interesting that this happens at the same time of the Jupiter square Saturn connection. So it's really just about, this whole week is really about balancing our expectations and our dreams with right now, the moment right here. I've been saying that a lot. I try to stop. So just be really mindful with the Mercury square Saturn energy that you're not falling into the self-critic voice. It's going going to be kind of loud during this day, on and around this day. So do what you can to be objective about it if you get there, or if you just can't get out of the spiral, distract yourself. As for business owners, there is potential for you to channel this energy into assessing your strategies and the structure of your business if you're not too hard in the self-critic voice, because then you might just get really worried. But it could be channeled into being more strategic. Then on Friday, December 27th, we have Venus square Uranus. This is an energy that could bring some tension, could bring some frustration through unexpected and sudden changes in our relationships, in our finances, and in the things that we value. Yes, it could be frustrating, but the point of it all is to get you to think in a different way and problem solve in new ways that you maybe never thought of before. It's definitely not a great day for taking any sort of financial risks. Impulsivity is high, especially impulse spending. So if you're someone who doesn't have the money to be buying things right now, then don't get yourself in a situation where you will impulse buy. Yes, stay off the Temu. As for business owners, if you are open on this day or working on this day, just be really flexible with things that could go awry, especially when it comes to other people. So customers, clients, co-workers, teammates, things like that. Just be really flexible so that you're able to go with the flow, stay calm and collected should anything unexpected happen. The last transit of the week is happening on Sunday, December 29th, and that is Chiron stationing direct. Chiron is the planet of our deepest wounds, but with that, it's also the planet of healing and progressing and really caring for ourselves and others. So there's some forward movement towards healing and being compassionate. So if there is a wound or a trauma or something that has really been present for you lately and you're not sure how to go about doing it, this energy and the next few months could really give you some forward momentum in figuring out how to process it and maybe take the next step in healing. It's a lovely energy for personal growth. As for business owners, I would use this energy to look at some information from the past, use some insights from past challenges, and figure out how you can grow from them and become stronger. So maybe you're refining your communication styles, your leadership strategies, or your customer strategies, anything like that. Look at some places that really kind of got your panties in a bunch, and figure out how you can approach those situations more objectively, and also figure out why they may have really triggered you, because things like that happen all the time in business, and it's really hard to separate our own experiences when we're business owners. But if we can at least attach them to what wounds they're triggering, then we can start to detach them from those wounds and just really understand them so that we can approach them with less emotions, or at least less impact, if that makes sense, to our emotions. We're not so influenced by them. All right, that's it. That's it for this week. I hope you guys have a beautiful week. Happy holidays. Stay safe. If you are traveling, make sure you take care of yourself, take care of others. Wear a mask maybe on the plane so you don't bring anything back to your family or get yourself sick or get other people sick. It's just a nice, compassionate, Chiron direct thing to do. All right, love you babies. Have a beautiful week. And until next time, stay hella fluid, y'all.